I told the team afterwards, good teams find ways to win games when they don't play their best. Great teams go back to work and fix those so they make better the next week. And that's what we're trying to be as a great team. You know, we found all kinds of mistakes, penalties, turnovers, but our guys hung in there and found a way, and those were games we would have lost years previously. And our kids found belief in themselves, a belief in our plan. And obviously we had some great plays when we needed them, and we're 3-0. That's all I know. And credit to our guys and credit to their team. They hung in there and just, I really felt we had dominated the game pretty much the whole time. You know, I think we ran 70 plays in the first half, but we just couldn't get it in the end zone, and obviously we got to make sure that we get that done. And we didn't take advantage of good field position where we had it in the first half, in that we didn't score the points that we should have. And those are things we need to fix. Well, if you ever watch Star Trek, we've got the Cardassians coming in, and we're going to their house at San Diego. They've been the cream of the Pioneer Football League. They've won in the playoffs against scholarship schools. So they are the team and the program we want to emulate. They're the ones that we want to be like because they've been the best for so many years. They had a bye week this week, so they'll be all healed up, and it'll be our first time on the road this year, so we'll have to face some new things. But again, I like this team. I like how they respond, and I like the leadership, and they just kept hanging in there and finding ways to make plays. No question, we had to, and we felt that, you know, this may have been the coolest day we've ever had here since July, and I was a little upset, but I kind of felt that as the sun came out in the second half and our offensive line kind of got to click, and I kind of thought we warmed out a little bit and took advantage of that. And our kids have bought in, and our kids we're saying in the huddle, you know, this is what we are, this is who we are, this is what we want to be defined by, being able to run the football effectively. And while it was a little spasmodic, they started loading the box a lot, especially toward the end when they knew we were going to try to run out the clock. Our guys hung in there and got the first downs when they needed to. We kind of felt like they'd started to cramp, and we just looking at their sidelines and looking at how they were carrying themselves in the huddle, we just kind of felt if we just leaned on them and kept leaning on them that it would have an effect. And you know, again, I credit our assistant coaches and our players. They decided, the offensive line said, we're going to put this team on our back and go down and get a touchdown, and that's what they did. You know, offensively, we turned the ball over too many times, especially late in the first half. We just lost our focus. We were not seeing the signals. We were not running the right routes. There were assignment errors, and for whatever reason, we just got out of whack there at the end of the first half. In the second half, you know, there were a couple times when our defense did get up runs. You know, we gave up the edge about 3 times, and we got to get that fixed defensively. But overall, you know, defensively, I thought we played pretty well. And for not knowing exactly which quarterback was going to be the one, I thought they adjusted pretty well and kept him contained because he can really run it. If I'd have remembered how it felt, I'd try to do it a little earlier. You know, I mean, we're elated, but here's the deal. And while I'm so excited about the energy around campus with this, you know, this is where we thought we would be going forward, and this is where we need to be going forward. And our kids have the leadership of this team, the captains and the leadership council have done such a great job, and this team's togetherness, culture, the culture, that's what I'm looking for. Our non-negotiable expectations is what we call it, and there's certain expectations we have, and this team is making, the leadership is making everyone on the team buy in and go after it, and so, you know, the younger kids sometimes don't get enough credit for where we're at because they're given the first team the looks they have during the week to make sure we're executing. We knew exactly what they were going to do, and we missed an assignment on the first pass that caused a sack, but the younger guys and the scout team on here are every bit bought in as the upperclassmen, and therefore our practices can be short and productive, and the results speak for themselves. Really, we've taken the mindset, and we're going to continue. You know, as I told the team, we want to be 1-0 this week, and next week we want to be 1-0. And I think what happens, especially with this generation of players, they start looking ahead and start wanting the rewards before they're putting in the work here. So this team, again, the captains and everyone have kept everyone be where your feet are right now. You know, what can I do right this minute to improve the team? We can't worry about. If I'm in the weight room, what can I do to make myself better, to make the team better? And to this point, this team has really focused on that. And again, I think that's one of the reasons we're sitting where we're at. Well, the first time we lined up in a punt, and since I coached the punt team, I'm taking credit, but they lined up 5 to one side, and they didn't even cover Austin Perlman outside. I mean, he was all alone, and our punter did not see that. So when I got Regis, I said, okay, here's how they lined up. Our key saw the same thing, and so I said, if they line up 5 and 2, we're calling Laredo. We had this fake in because we saw that they might do this. There was a check if they lined up differently, but they lined up, and I'll be honest, you know, when I saw that we were actually going to run it, I'm going, It's either going to be really good or really bad, and they executed perfectly. And actually, Regis, they did not play it like they had in the past. The tackle actually went out, and our guys just went right with the block, covered him up. Kraske made a good block off the edge, and Reach did a great job of adjusting and running. Don't like the fact that we lost him for a little while. He's obviously not only a very good defensive player, but he's great on special teams as well, and a leader up in that defensive line. So hopefully we'll get him back sooner rather than later. I mean, the big play at the end of the game was just obviously great, just a great deal. And then for Kraske to get out there and cover that quarterback going out there, we've seen that play on TV numerous times, and so they did a great job of defending that as well. Reggie didn't start the game, and he didn't start the game because he made a mistake. And so when he got in there, he had a little bit of a chip on his shoulder and really did a great job, and I was really pleased to see that. You know, I'm not sure he knew exactly what coverage we were in when we made the interception, but he was right there where the ball was and made the play, and so. You know, I think he had an added incentive to show the coaching staff that, you know, you can't keep me out of the game like that. So going forward, hopefully he'll do what he's supposed to do, and we'll make sure that he starts. Yeah, and he's getting heavier too. You know, he's put on actually about 12 pounds since he's been here, of good weight. And as he gets more and more comfortable reading things and using, he's such a patient runner and so quick. And then he's got that explosion as soon as he sees the hole. It's tricky with him because you look at him, he looks very slight, but he's got a lot of power in his legs and keeps the pile moving. And he's getting better and better in what we do. And again, when you get the ball to him in the open field, like that swing pass on pivot route, you know, he ended up making a big play to give us a chance to get the first down.